Welcome on into the podcast, everyone. I am the assassin of the slave mind, the executioner, and if you don't know, now you know. And off here to my left is my esteemed co-host, Silent Sal, with a violent B, Mr. Salvador Sanchez. I don't know, I got it.
A violent B. Wow, I wasn't even expecting that. Well, welcome everybody to the return of the Good Times Podcast. That's right, the podcast that at one time was the number 20 podcast in, I think, Pakistan? Or remember, we were like some top-ranked show in some random-ass country when we looked at the metrics.
Oh, so, that's right. I remember that now.
I don't know if it was Pakistan. It was some Middle Eastern random-ass country.
Yeah.
So
Czechoslovakia? I don't know.
Is that even a country anymore?
I don't even know. I don't even know if it's in the Middle East.
Well, welcome back, everybody. It's been a long time.
Wow, it's been a long time.
And boy, I'm glad we're back.
Shoot. So now we're sitting here August 2nd when we're doing this, 2022. And the last time we did this was when?
November 20th of 2020.
Jeez. So we're like literally right in the middle of the pandemic at that point.
Yeah.
And so much.
Actually, not even the middle. It's still kind of the beginning because it happened in March of that year when everything shut down. And if you think about it, kind of like the end of 21, maybe?
Okay.
I mean, hell, even like the beginning of this year, because, I mean, you know, we still had to wear masks at work and shit.
Oh, my God. And honestly, that was what got me away from where I was at that point. Shoot. So at that time, when we were recording this, I was working at Amazon, and you were... Fritos?
I'm pretty sure I was still working for Frito-Lay at the time.
Yeah.
And then... Yeah, it's been so long, I don't even know.
Dude, what a ride it's been. Because, I mean, obviously before that, like literally a year before that, you got married and you moved.
Yep.
I didn't get married, but I moved. And here we are 2 years later, about a year and a half, almost 2 years later.
Yeah.
Damn, almost 2 years later. Still not married.
But he's moved again.
I moved again. I moved like 3 times within that whole time.
There's going to be somebody like... Well, maybe if he gets married, he won't move.
Yeah, exactly. So, what have you been up to?
Well, we're going to have to hit the rewind button because, God, like you said, it's been almost 2 years exactly, just off by a few months.
Okay.
But since then, I've changed jobs and, you know, like things have been getting good for us, for my wife and I. And it's kind of crazy how, like, when we did the podcast last time, it was like, oh, my fiance this, my fiance that. Right. And now it's like firmly where, because we've been on, later this month, it'll be 3 years for us being
Holy
married.
Shit.
So, like, it's crazy how time flies, man.
That's amazing.
Because I remember when we first started the podcast, it was like, we did an episode with James.
Right, Long Leg Daddy-O.
Yeah. And it was where you guys were asking me questions about, like, oh, what was it like when you popped a question? What was it like, you know, like asking her parents or whatever, and then talking to them?
Which knee did you use? The left knee, the right knee, or the
wee knee? And ever since then, since then, now it's firmly where it's like, yeah, she's my wife. It's been 3 years, almost, pretty much 3 years, and like we've gone through such a ride, man. Like it's just crazy how time flies when you look back at it.
Dude, I mean, and that's such a long time, even in this day and age now, because people are just getting married just to get divorced like a half year later.
Yeah. Well, remember Kim Kardashian got married to, what's his name, Chris Humphries?
Yeah.
And like a day later, she divorced him?
Yep. And then she got married to Tristan Thompson, I think, or just did him. I don't know, something like that.
I mean, she's pretty much done everybody anyway.
Yeah, she's pretty much done everybody on the Saints. But...
She's a whore.
Your mother's a... And then ever since then for me, so I was just thinking about this as we brought it up right before the podcast, when the last time we did it, November of 2020 was when everything actually changed for me, because I actually decided in November that I was going to become an Herbalife distributor again. And that was when I switched everything over. And a few months later in February is when I finally left Amazon. And leaving Amazon was one of the best fucking decisions of my life.
Well, what was it that, like, set you over the edge to finally say, hey, you know what, fuck you guys?
So, obviously, being over the whole coronavirus thing, I mean, listen, if you know me, you know my stance on it, and you know that I get very deep when it comes into a lot of that bullshit. But at the same time, I was very over the fact that we had to wear masks all the time. We had to be 6 feet apart. And on top of that, people were literally losing their jobs because they had their mask under their nose. Like, get the fuck out.
Yeah, I remember that, man.
I knew it was time. I knew it was legitimately time. My mental health was fucking literally sweltering at that point. Or smeltering, whatever. No, sweltering. I would say sweltering, whatever the fuck it is.
Fucked up.
Yeah, it was jacked up for sure. And at that point, I was definitely like on my way to rock bottom. I was about 250 pounds at that point. And then by the time April came around is when I finally decided like to make a health change for myself. So when I first weighed in April of 2021, which is last year, I sat at around 244 pounds. And I remember looking at it and thinking like, it's time to do this. So I started going to Hooked on Nutrition, which is in Hanford, by the way. Hanford, California. If you ever go there, definitely check it out. It's really cool. But I was literally driving 45 minutes over there 3 to 4 times a week just to be over there, just to be around everybody. Finally jumping in, finally being around everything. And now I'm sitting here at 192, literally 52 pounds lost, 51, something like that. I feel absolutely amazing. It's been an incredible ride for me, and I couldn't have pictured a different way of this happening up to this point. And now here we are doing the fucking podcast once again.
Yeah.
It almost feels like we never left.
Kind of. But I mean, in real life.
I guess we did, but
yeah. I mean, like, a peek behind the curtain. I mean, like, we're actually friends in real life. We're not just like two dudes that said, hey, we should start a podcast.
Or jack each other off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we're friends in real life. So, I mean, we talk to each other every day. So it's not hard to like pick up a conversation. I mean,
right.
like we said, we have conversations where we're just in the car driving somewhere.
Absolutely.
And we're like, fuck, man, that could have been on the show.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And honestly, we just kept doing that. Like, I feel like that's time. Never fucking. Yeah. And then we'd always keep saying, "Oh, we got to start a podcast again.
We got to do it again.
Start a fucking podcast again."
Yeah.
And then it just literally happened this past like 2 weeks ago, right? Or yeah, like last week when I was like, "Hey, well, so this has been in motion for quite some time."
Yeah, like we bought the mics.
Yeah,
and then
new mics.
Yeah, and then we finally got I finally got a computer.
Yep.
And then like it kind of just sat for a while. And then it was like, oh, hey, I finally got some headphones.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, oh, hey, fucking, I finally got my cable.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden we're like, all right, fuck it, let's record on Friday.
Right. And the thing was that so for the past since this past January, I'd actually been working all day Fridays doing my 7 to 7. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually working at the Healthy Hub now, so come and check it out.
Located where?
777 East 777. My name's 7, by the way. No, 77 East Barstow, Fresno, California, Suite A. Come on, check it out. Right next to Wa's Kitchen and right across the street from Triangle Burger. And no, the burgers are not Triangle. I mean, come on.
They lie.
They're definitely lies. Either way, so I found myself working there 7 to 7 every Friday. And I would say about 2 months ago, I started working only half days. And then I think it was literally just this past week on Monday, our owner was like, hey, we're gonna move your Friday. We're gonna give it to somebody else. I was like, fuck yeah, that sounds good. And I remember Friday came around.
Fuck yeah.
And I remember Thursday kind of came around and I was like, man, like, you know what? I really miss doing podcasts. Like, it's been a while. And you know what? Sal usually has Fridays off, so let me hit him up. And that's just kind of what put everything in motion. Like, Fridays are the days that really kind of put everything in motion for the both of us, honestly.
Yeah.
So here we are. It took one Friday, and here we are the next Friday recording.
Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, at the time, because when I was at that other job, I would have Fridays off.
Yeah.
But then I would work nights. Uh-huh. So then sometimes it'd be like, hey, like, can you come in to cover for this person? So I'd be there from, like 2 to 10 at night. And then by the time, 10 o'clock happens, by the time I close everything up, it's already 10:30. So then after that, it's like, it's not even like I could go over to your house after that because it's already fucking late.
It is late.
And so by the time we set everything up, and then by the time we throw a few ideas around and just bullshit for a while, it'd probably be like 12 o'clock. And there's no way that my wife would let me do that.
And funniest part is that I work on Saturday mornings from 8 to 4. And to think about it, like even going all the way to midnight and then going to sleep. And you know what's funny? I just literally got a call right before we started recording this. Hey, Chris, you want to come to this Airbnb and drink with us? And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? That actually sounds kind of fun now that I think about it. And now that I think about it, rethink about it, I got to work in the morning.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not the best idea.
You want to come to this Airbnb where there's hidden cameras everywhere and do some stupid shit and somebody will put it on fucking YouTube or TikTok or something?
Hey, go ahead. Do it. I ain't got nothing to hide.
Yeah.
Besides my wiener.
Yeah.
Unless you want to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but now that I'm at a new job, like I work in the mornings. So I get off at 3 o'clock every day.
Okay.
So it's way better because now I have all this time
Yeah.
that for a long time I didn't have that time. I would only have in the morning because then if you think about it, I got to go to work at 2 o'clock.
Sure.
You're in your head, you're like, okay, I have up until noon because I got to go home. I either have to take a shower, got to feed my dogs, got to get something to eat, got to change, and then do whatever.
Yeah.
So that's like your mindset. You're always 2 hours ahead. But now that I work in the morning, it's crazy. Like I just have so much free time now. I have free time to take a nap in the middle of the day now, dude. That's crazy.
Right. That's right. And you took one today.
And I took one today.
And
I
look
feel
at
great.
you now.
Look at me now. I'm tired again. No.
And it's so funny. I have to say this. Waking up early is one of the most underrated things you can do as an adult.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because growing up, it was always like, I'm going to sleep in as long as possible after staying up all night long.
Yeah, you won't roll out of bed until like 2:30 in the afternoon or something.
Exactly. If even that. I still remember my dad getting up and going to work at 6 a.m. This was a while back. Going to work at 6 a.m., looking into the room, seeing me awake. You're still awake? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, all right, well, get up and do something. All right. And then he comes back home later on in the day at 5 a.m. and I'm still in bed. And
Did you do anything?
He comes in, did you do anything today? No. Get your ass up.
Yeah, go pick up dog shit.
Yeah,
that's what my dad would always tell me.
Go pick up dog shit.
Yeah, go back there and pick up some dog shit.
Well, I mean, and then so back to it again. Like waking up early is so fucking underrated. You have so much time, and I understand that you have to go to sleep a little bit earlier than usual. But if you have to push yourself to midnight, maybe 1 o'clock because someone invited you out to go do something, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Get 6 hours of sleep and, try to get that 8 again the next night, whatever it is. We're literally living in a time where being able to get stuff done throughout the day is like, that's fucking adulting.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's like you have all these goals. You want to do this, you want to do that. But honestly, none of it's going to get done if you don't wake up early.
Yeah.
Let's be completely honest.
And how many jobs, for people our age, it's always mid-shifts. It's always like, I'll come into work at 11.
That's so true.
And then you get off at what, like 7, 8 o'clock?
Yeah.
That's your entire day.
Literally
the entire day. All you have is morning, but you're asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do get up early, you're just going to get something to eat and then get ready for work. And then when you go home, you're going to get something to eat. Mm-hmm. You're going to go to sleep.
Exactly.
And then get ready for work tomorrow.
Exactly. And it's so funny because the only reason why people like the mid shifts is because they can sleep in.
Yeah.
Because again,
I mean, unless they have kids or something like that, they got to drop off fucking
stuff like that.
Little
but
baby
that's the only reason
bitch.
why that kidless people without kids pick those shifts is because it's like, oh, I can go to sleep late and I can still sleep in a little bit.
Yeah. I can hit up the parties at night.
Right.
Sleep in and then just go to work with a hangover.
Yeah. But the funniest part is that you're literally just wasting your entire fucking day.
Absolutely.
You literally just plan it around work.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
Yeah. And I remember my dad, because he used to work at the park. And
Benson.
And he would go in at like 5 in the morning. And he'd come home, I don't know, 2:30 maybe.
Shit.
And I'm like, damn, that's a long day. But at the same time, he's got the rest of the day to just do whatever the fuck he wanted. He would hang out in his garage, he'd actually get some shit done, come home, mow the lawn.
Yep.
And if you think about it, how many dads actually like come home, they come home later than that. Say they get off at 5:30, they get home 6 or 6:30. they can't mow the lawn. The sun's already going down.
The sun's already going
You
down.
know, and it's weird. Like you notice like the little things that like your parents would do when they would work that certain schedule. And like I feel lucky now that I have that schedule because it's almost the same thing. And like my boss, he offered me today. He was like, "Hey, do you want to come in at 6 in the morning, or do you want to still come in at 7?" I was like, "I'm cool with either." But I thought about it. I was like, "No, give me 7, because 6 o'clock, I don't mind that at all." However, I got 2 dogs at home, and like you said, like pushing it to midnight or whatever. I'm a person that always goes to bed late anyway. It doesn't matter. Yeah. The way I view it is kind of weird. I don't like to sleep.
Okay.
Like, I enjoy sleep, don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But I don't like
he
to
hates
go to sleep.
No.
This just in, he hates sleep.
Oh, somebody get rid of him.
Yeah, like, I don't like to sleep because I feel like I'm missing out on stuff.
Okay.
Because I can either be reading something, I could either watch something. Like, I don't know. I'm one of those, like, people who, like, has, like, a spongy kind of brain where, like, I got to get in all this shit while I'm alive. You know? But anyway, so I usually go to bed pretty late anyway. But if I get a good REM sleep,
yeah,
I can get up at, I don't know, 3 hours later, and I'm perfect. I am perfect, which is cool now because say I go to bed at like 11, but I don't go to sleep until 1:30 maybe. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But I have a dog that wakes me up at 5:30 every morning to take her out.
Yeah.
And lately she's been doing this, and I don't know why, but I'm like, hey, fucking go back to bed, and like an hour or not even an hour, like 20 minutes later, I'll take your ass out.
Yeah,
because the sun hasn't even come up yet, and she's fucking waking me up. I'm like, at least wait till the sun comes up. That way, you know. But anyway, so yeah, that's why I picked the 7 o'clock schedule, because I think it works out better for my dogs, and then it still works out good for me.
Sure.
And I mean, especially since I'm at the house by myself, like I got to make sure those fucking dogs are good.
No, I got you. And the funniest part is that you mentioned, like,
there's probably somebody. Why is he at home by himself?
Oh yeah.
Long story.
Yeah. Long story short, I was just gonna make up some random shit.
Yeah, dude, I was waiting for it. Long story short, she got drafted. She's in fucking South Korea right now.
Oh no, you gave away her position. It's over.
Oh shit.
Oh fuck, declassified information. We're done.
There's a red laser on me right now.
And we lost him. So it's just me. Welcome to the Good Times Podcast with the Executioner.
And only the Executioner.
And only the Executioner.
Welcome to the Good Times Podcast with the Executioner and a bleeding out Sal.
Yeah, here we go. How are you feeling over there, Sal? I was just going to push back to the, so getting stuff done and like finding yourself in a position where it's like, yeah, I do like sleep as well, but sometimes I'll literally find myself waking up at 7 o'clock, checking my phone, continually checking my phone. And I keep checking my phone and I put it down and I'm like, I'm just going to fucking get up. It's like 7:30. I went to sleep at like 3.
Yeah.
And I get tired later, but like, shit, if I have my tea, if I have my lift off, and then later on in the day I can get some night works in, I'm good. And I don't know what it is, but like sleeping in, I'll sleep in. Like in a case of like today almost. Like I went to sleep around like 1 or 2 this morning and I woke up around 9. That's about 8 hours of sleep. That's like sleeping in for me now.
Hell yeah.
And I don't know why, but I don't know what it is. But I think ever since I moved into this house, so for those of you who don't know, like I moved into a house and I live here by myself. And there's always shit to do here. Like you got to go outside, you got to rake the fucking leaves, or you got to rake out all the bullshit. You got to pick up cat shit. There's all kinds of cats everywhere, shitting all over the lawns, shitting in my flower beds. I have to sweep, I have to mop, you have to take care of everything. Like it's on you. You know what I mean? Whereas like when you lived with somebody or you're living with your parents,
they're doing all that shit.
Exactly. Like I used to think about this all the time. I would just go and drop a wrapper on the floor and I'll leave it there. It'll get picked up. I'll go back later. It got picked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now it's like you drop something on the floor. It's not going to get picked up. It's still going to be there when you go back home.
When I was younger and my dad had a garage, he had a paper towel dispenser in there. You know, because he had a sink in there too.
Sure.
So I remember being a kid and like, it's like washing my hands or like washing my face when it's the summertime and I'm playing outside or whatever. Go in the garage, wash up, whatever, dry off with some paper towels, and I would just throw the fucking paper towel.
Just throw it?
Just throw it.
Just toss the motherfucker.
And now that fucking kids come over to my house all the time.
Oh no,
not all the time, but most of the time. And whenever
not
they
your
show
kids,
up,
by the way.
not my kids at all. No, and they'll throw shit everywhere, and I'm pissed. I'm like, pick that shit up right now. And so now I think about it, man. I wonder how my dad felt when he threw those paper towels everywhere.
He's fucking tired of you. But you know what? Honestly, he probably didn't fucking care. He was drunk anyway off of the Natty Light all fucking
Somehow
day
he got
long.
drunk off of Natty Lights.
Yeah.
The only person in the world to ever get drunk off of Natty Lights.
Seriously.
Him and his best friend, yeah.
How do you get drunk off Natty Light? Like what? It's like 0.5 alcohol?
You ever think about like the power of alcohol back then? Like the power of beers? Because back then there were like, what, 4 beers?
Sure.
Those Bud, Miller, Coors, and Schlitz.
Yeah. Something like that.
So it's like there weren't that many beers.
Sure.
So I don't know. I guess my dad he calls it the Octane.
The Octane?
Yeah, he calls it Octane, right? Because that pertains to gas. Like you have high octane gas. So like IPAs or something like that, or not even an IPA, something like a 805.
Okay.
I'll be like, hey, Dad, you want an 805? No, man, that's high octane beer right there.
Really?
High octane beer? Like, what are you talking about? That's a starter beer.
Damn.
Yeah.
And 805 is really good too, but I definitely wouldn't call it high octane.
No, not at all.
Him,
That's the point. It's not at all.
Right. And so, what would you consider high octane?
I mean, they would have to start at least at a double IPA, right?
Double,
or
IPA,
even like a Steve Austin IPA.
Yeah, Steve Austin IPA, the Broken Skull.
Yeah.
So the Broken Skull IPA, the Stone Cold IPA for Stone Cold ET. Stone Cold ET likes his burgers with a little bit of onion. What? And a little bit of ketchup. What? God, but it's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get one of those in there, and it's kind of a tall can, right?
Yeah.
Kind of a taller can. You get one of those in there, and you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah. Like, what was it? WrestleMania. We had, 2 each, maybe? 3 each?
Yeah. Was it WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when he wrestled.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Right.
Yeah.
It was for my birthday, though, too.
Yes. Yeah.
My birthday is always around WrestleMania, so if everybody wants to give me tickets, you know what I'm saying? That's a good
or
birthday
Broken Skull IPA.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that works, too. But tickets are cool, too.
Yeah, but yeah, I would say those are like the start of high octane beer.
That's true.
I gotta make that a shirt. High octane beer.
High octane beer, and it's funny because I play Apex Legends. For those of you who play Apex Legends, and there's a guy. There's a guy. There's a guy on there named Octane. And I just got a dub with him earlier today too. And so every time so far that you've come over, I always have like the best fucking game of my life. And literally in the middle of it, you ring the doorbell, and I'm like, oh god damn it, I gotta get up and. Oh god damn it! I gotta and open up the door.
But then after
jiggling.
that, here comes another 6 kills and
yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It's like one of those things. Like, are you like my cyber father? You know what I mean? Like every day.
What?
Do you remember from the Little Giants when the kid sees his dad?
Yeah.
He's all dad. And he runs really fast.
Okay.
So maybe you're like my gaming dad. I don't know. So every time you come here, I just play the best I've ever played in my life.
So maybe the point is, people invite me over, and you'll probably have a pretty good game of whatever the fuck you're playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So okay, well, let's get to more like where we were at in the beginning of the show.
Okay.
So we're 30 now, dude.
Oh shit.
Both of us. We're 30. We turned 30 this year.
Yes, we did.
I was in February, and you're in April?
Yeah.
Yeah, April.
So you turned 31st out of the clique.
Yeah. Well, actually, James did. He's a year older than us.
Is he?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he's an old fuck.
Yeah. But he just turned 31?
He just turned 31.
Oh, shit. Well, I missed it. Sorry, long leg daddy.
He's got kids now, so his birthday is totally dead. It's all about the kid's birthday now.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Both
true.
of them.
Both of them.
Yeah, so
he has a second one now. Well, we'll get to that some other time.
If he ever shows up.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so we're 30 now. So did you remember hearing people when they were 30 when we were, just say in high school?
Okay.
Because back in high school, you're like, oh, 30? Fuck, they're old. Like, they're about to die,
Yeah.
But now that we're here, do you feel like when we were that age, that 30-year-olds were worse off than we were now, like health-wise and like all that? Because it seemed like 30-year-olds back then, like they were better off, like money-wise, probably. But like I would always hear them like, "Oh man, my knee's fucking acting up," or "Oh, my shoulder's fucking blown out," or something. But
or their back,
yeah, that
blown
too,
out.
because she's a whore. But yeah, so like, do you feel like I don't know, like maybe like health-wise we're better off as 30-year-olds? Because like, I mean, money-wise, I mean, there's really no way to measure that, really.
With a ruler.
Really?
Just kidding.
But like, how's your overall health as a 30-year-old now compared to like what you imagined it to be when you were, say 16, 17 in high school?
That's a really good question. And honestly, I think part of me, when I was like 16 or 17, around that time, I was literally in like the worst health ever.
Yeah.
Around that time, because at that point, I hadn't had my second heart surgery quite yet. So my second heart surgery was 2009, and before that, I was having like these crazy irregular heartbeats where it was impossible to fucking breathe.
Damn.
So honestly, I could only think until it was over to work on myself. And so thinking about 30, shit, man, the only thing I could think of was like the next fucking week. Am I gonna die? Like,
yeah. At that point, you're not even like thinking about that far down, are you?
Not really, but I mean, I will get to a couple.
I mean,
years
like, did you think that you were gonna die, or were you like, I'll pull through it? Like, it'll be tough, but like, I'll get through it.
Yeah, I mean, I had a feeling that I was gonna get through it. I really did. However, it was just more of like, I just kind of took it of a day-to-day basis. I didn't have any long-term goals at that point, because again, it's like,
well, does any 16-year-old really have long-term goals?
I mean, besides
other than like the Asian kids at school where their parents tell them, "You're gonna be doctor. You go to school now."
I mean, besides the other kids that all wanted to work at a fucking movie theater or work at a fucking gas station later on.
Dude, I always wanted to work at a movie theater, but then I look back at it, I'm like, that shit must have sucked.
Oh man, it had to be.
Although it would be cool to clean up after a movie, because you'd probably find all kinds of shit in those seats and whatever.
That's true, free popcorn.
But then you might, I don't know, you might get the one movie where like that couple goes in there and now there's just cum all over the seats and
everywhere. All the cum, all the candy, and all the corn. All cum, corn, candy. But again, I think until a few years later is when I actually started thinking about like going to 30 at that point, was because of the fact that my brother's 10 years older than me.
Mine too.
So I would say up until I was like 18 or 19, like my brother's being 28, 29, and I can hear him, oh, I'm almost at 30, all the time. Like, he literally dreaded fucking 30, and I had no idea why. And was his health like the best? I mean, maybe not, but at the same time, like, I didn't really look at my brother as like, he was a failure or anything. Like, he didn't have his life figured out. To me, he seemed like he had a lot of stuff figured out at that point. And then I think, I wonder if he was married at that point. I'm not too sure, but I would say from where he was at that point when I turned 20 to me being 30 now, I am just 100% happy. I feel like I'm way better off, especially health-wise. Health-wise, like right now when I turned 30, I was like, my biggest thing when I turned 29 was, and that was also another thing in 2021 that really got me going with my health again, was because I was like, I have one more year until I turn 30.
Yeah.
I have to turn 30 at least on my way to the best shape of my life. Like, because they say like for men, like their 30s is their prime.
Yeah.
Literally, they're prime for their body. They're prime for their emotional health, their mental health, all that stuff. Because we've been through 30 years of life. We've been through a lot. We know a lot. And now our body's finally hitting that peak. You know what I mean?
And as far as mental, you finally know what to do with like that knowledge.
For sure.
Because if you're 25, you're not quite there yet.
Not quite.
Like even that, just 5 years of difference makes a big difference.
Right.
But like I'm right there with you, where now you feel like you're hitting your stride. because you're 30. You're gonna be at your peak soon.
Absolutely.
And like as far as me, like I kind of made that choice too. Like since my birthday, I've lost 20 pounds.
Nice.
So like, it could have been way better, obviously.
Sure.
But hey, it's better than just fucking gaining 20 pounds.
Absolutely. And you easily could have. Like,
Oh,
I could have
absolutely.
could have.
Dude, especially with my wife gone, dude, I could have absolutely just fucking packed it on.
Yeah. And you know, while she's in South Korea, like, why wouldn't you, you know? Like
Yeah, while she's over there fucking at the, what do you call it, that the DMT, the demilitarized zone? Or DMZ, my bad. DMT.
DMZ. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so it's just kind of like making that change. But once, I don't know, like a lot of people dreaded 30. I don't know why. I think for me, like,
I think that's where like that whole midlife crisis comes in, or at least that's where it starts, because
Sure.
it's usually like around 40, right?
Absolutely.
Like when you see movies, you know, some lady like, oh my god, I just turned 40. Ah.
Yeah.
Because like on The Fresh Prince, Aunt
Okay.
Viv, it was her 40th birthday.
Uh-huh.
They do a slideshow for her, and it's like, oh, in 1950, whatever the fuck, she was born in 1960. She was in this school. 1970, she attended this college. Blah blah blah. And then they're like, oh, you know, but they mention words like, you know, like the decade, you know, 2 decades ago, she was here. So like she's hearing those buzzwords,
Sure.
and she's like starting to just feel shittier and shittier about herself. So like I think that's where kind of like that midlife crisis comes in, when somebody like our age, yeah, man, you know, back in high school, fucking damn, 15 years ago, I was a freshman. You know, like when they hear shit like that, right? But it's
That's
all
what I
kind of
think now.
it's all kind of a state of mind though, because it's like, would you want to like keep living in that 15 years ago, or would you rather be now, knowing what you know now?
Absolutely. Living now.
Yeah.
And here's the reason why. So I work at, again, I work at the Healthy Hub, and it's literally right across the street from Hoover. So I get to see all these kids basically grow up. And a lot of these kids that go in, so they started their semester this past year, and I started August of last year working there. So I got to meet a lot of these kids as they came in and stuff like that. And now here they are. If they came in as freshmen, here they are in their next semester, sophomores and whatnot, or whatever, seniors, whatever it is. And it's just like, I remember being in high school thinking like, man, like, you know, I don't know it all, but at the same time, I feel like a fucking adult.
Yeah.
And then I see these kids, and I'm like, you guys are dumb as fuck. Like, and
Absolutely,
that was
dude.
me back in the day. Again, I'm not saying that I was smart back in the day or anything. No, I was dumb as fuck. I just had no idea.
Yeah.
I had zero clue. But it wasn't until that awakening, kind of, when you're around these kids all the time, they come in, oh, you know, I'm just so mad because, you know, Chuck, he went and did one of my friends, and they're just having sex all the time. Like, there was literally this kid that came in, and he's like, yeah, I'm not friends with this guy anymore. And I'm like, well, why not? Well, because he knew I really liked this girl, and, you know, and then I was like hanging out with her a lot and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, did you hold her hand, or did you like kiss her or anything? He's like, no, I really wanted to make her my girlfriend. And I'm like, well, why didn't you? And he's just like, oh, I don't know. I was just waiting for the right time. Here's the thing, kids. The right time never comes.
Yeah.
The perfect time never comes. The only person that comes is me.
I was going to go there if you did it.
But it's true. It is very much true.
Don't worry about the right time to come, because the only time to come is when you want to.
Exactly. And it's always on your own discretion.
That's right.
But again, it's just one of those, and he's like, yeah, and
Just
like,
don't be coming on people.
yeah, please don't come on people or people's hands. Come on his hands.
He's a comer.
But again, it comes down to, he's like, yeah, I'm not friends with my friend anymore, because he went in, he was having sex with her. And I was like, oh man, poor kid, like, broke his heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get it. But I had to have a long talk with him. I'm like, listen,
he's just crying.
I know. And he's just coming everywhere.
You're all, hey.
I'm all, stop it. What the fuck?
Take that in the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. You go to the bathroom. Not this bathroom. Wa's kitchen.
Yeah.
Go to that one. But again, I'm just like, yeah, listen, kid, like, you know, there's going to be a time where you're going to have to understand that this girl, like, you could have been her girlfriend. Like, she could have been your girlfriend, but you
could have been having sex with her.
Yeah. But the whole thing is like, you probably won't even talk to her by next year.
Yeah.
You won't even be talking to her 5 years from now.
You'll just see her story pop up on your Instagram, and that's it.
And you'll jack off. Whatever.
Yeah.
You'll remember the time that you almost did.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of times where you almost did. And you're going to have a lot more opportunities later on in the future.
Absolutely. Yeah.
A lot more opportunities.
That's right.
And again,
wait for the quinceañeras.
And again, it just kind of comes down to like, all these kids come in, they have these little ass problems, and I'm thinking like, man, I'm over here thinking like where I'm going to be in 10 years. Like, how am I going to get my business off the ground? Like, how am I going to pay bills? Like, how am I going to
You want to see my electric bill, kid?
Yeah, exactly.
Motherfucker.
He's like, what are you talking about? Like,
yeah.
you know, and he's just worried about this girl that he's probably never going to talk to ever again.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy to think like how small these problems are compared to where they are now.
Yeah. But I mean, as you age, you know, your problems do too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, I mean, just imagine, you know, in your second grade, fuck, man, I can't catch Mewtwo. Oh.
And here I am, 30 years old. Fuck, man, I can't beat Punch-Out. So I guess some problems don't age, and that's
Dude,
one of them.
that one time that I came into your room and you were like just glued on your computer playing Punch-Out, one of the funniest things fucking ever, dude.
Dude, I mean, but it's true, though. Like, that was one of the problems that still haven't aged. I have beaten a lot of games in my life. I have beaten a lot of my own wieners at my own. Just mine. But at the same time, that's one of the things that.
So he says.
Done. So what? What?
Hey, but no, I'll tell you this though. This year, at the age of 30, I finally beat the game Contra.
Wow.
And
up, left, right, B, down.
Up, down, left, right, BA. That's the
there
Contra
it is.
Code. Or the Konami code, whatever.
For Brandon I.
But, however, I didn't beat it with the Contra code.
You beat it with the meet it?
I beat it with the meet it. That's right. And, dude, I started playing that game at like 5 years old.
Damn.
Yeah. And
5?
I never beat it.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Because my brother had a Nintendo.
Okay.
So him and my cousin would play that shit all the time.
Damn, man.
And, dude, I never beat it. And
that's insane.
I bought this little handheld.
Okay.
And it's basically an emulator.
Good old emulators.
Good old Emerald. Never mind.
Damn dragon eggs, and they're losing weight with the water.
Fucking 100 pounds of water weight
100
lost.
pounds of water weight. God damn it.
But anyway, yeah, so it's this little emulator, and it's got just an ass ton of games on it, right?
Ass.
And so I saw that Contra was one of them.
Okay.
And so I started playing the shit out of Contra, and over the course of like an hour, I finally beat the game.
There you go.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I still died in fucking shit ton of times, but I finally beat the damn thing.
There
It's
you go.
the little victories that count, man.
Absolutely. And honestly, it's like one of those things where it almost feels like an accomplishment.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's so funny because it's like maybe for some people they're like, well, you beat a game, and is that really an accomplishment? But listen.
Let's see you beat Contra.
Exactly. Let's see you beat Punch-Out.
That's
all I gotta say.
It ain't gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. But yeah, it's crazy. It is so crazy. But I'm very blessed to be where I'm at, especially in my 30s. I really thought 29 was one of my best years, but now 30 is like turning out to be even better.
Yeah.
And honestly, like it's all you can do is just like continually get better.
Mm-hmm.
And shit, cheers to 40.
I know. Yeah, we're on the road already.
Fuck it, on the road again.
And now, a skit from the Good Times Podcast.
Are you a fan of dicks? Next weekend, and next weekend only, join us for Dickathon 2022, showing off the masculinity of manhood members and all the latest accessories for them. There will be custom fittings for condoms, dick casting for your own dilderinis, a barbershop to get a once-in-a-lifetime manscaping, the latest in supplements, workout sessions, and so much more. Stick around for when we crown this year's Dick of the Year. This year's contestants are all former champions, including the Penalizer, Major Willie, Screamin' with Semen, Penathon, Throbosaurus, the Ejectile Projectile, Road Chode, and the Slut Stabber. Join us next weekend for Dickathon 2022. And remember, coming here is hard, but staying hard is a reason to come.
So I got like story or whatever to tell.
Okay.
Okay. So today at work, I had an all-time confidence low about being 30.
Oh no.
Okay. And I'm not a self-conscious person. I mean, everybody's self-conscious, I guess.
A self-conscious prick? Is that what you were gonna say?
Yeah. No, self-conscious person.
Oh, okay.
So everybody's self-conscious
prick.
about their own certain things. But like I don't feel like I overreact like certain people do. Like, oh, my ankles. You know. But I'm not like one of those kind of people at all. Like, at least I don't feel like I am.
Sure.
Like, I don't complain about anything.
Yeah.
However, today, you kind of get hit with this is like one of those things that you hear like an old person do.
Oh god.
And you're just like, fuck, man. I'd hate to be, kind of like in their shoes when that happened.
Sure.
Well, I'm not even whatever. But okay, so today at work, I'm just putting a bunch of shit away, right?
Okay.
And I'm in the back part of the store, and I'm like,
the back pages.
I gotta fart hella bad.
Oh god.
So I farted, right? And I don't remember. Oh, what did we eat last night? Oh, the fucking hot dogs.
Oh, pizza.
The hot dog, the pizza, and then
the one beer.
And the one beer.
Yeah.
And I went home. I had some popcorn. That was it.
There you go.
Okay, so that's all I had. So keep that in mind.
He had corn, cum, and candy.
Yeah, I went to the movies.
Yeah, exactly.
By myself.
Yeah.
With Pee Wee Herman. So I'm like, man, I gotta fart, man. And at this point, I had already taken a shit.
Okay.
Everybody takes a morning shit.
Sure.
At least you should.
Yeah.
So I fart, and I'm like, damn, man. Smells like fucking hot dog.
Oh no.
And it was all beef. It was a big fucking gagger, right? And so it's all beef.
A glizzy gagger.
And
big one.
So, you know what a hot dog fart smells like.
Oh yeah. Like
and especially with the mustard.
Hot dog water.
Yeah. So especially with the mustard on there too.
Yep,
you add a little bit of that vinegar and gets a little bit worse.
A little bit of vinegar in there.
So then about like 10 minutes goes by and I'm like, man, I gotta fart again.
Oh god.
So I go back there and I fart. And this is remember how I told you I was like, I'll be open on this show now.
Yeah.
Farted, fucking squirted a little bit, bro.
Oh no.
Yeah. And it wasn't a lot, but it's enough to where like you feel it, you're like, oh no.
Oh no.
And at that point, I instantly felt old. Because you always hear these stories about these old guys where they fart and then just fucking
yeah,
and
absolutely.
you're like, oh my god. Obviously, theirs is a lot worse because they don't control their fucking butthole.
Yeah.
However, mine
is controlled.
Is a controlled butthole.
Yeah.
There's never been anything inside that butthole.
Right.
So,
exit only.
Yeah. And at this point, it's got to be the fucking hot dog and all that shit, right?
It has to be.
Because I had a shake in the morning, so it's just more liquid.
Sure.
And so, like, I fucking squirted, bro.
Oh,
and I'm like, oh, no.
Oh,
so I go to the bathroom or whatever, and fucking I look, and I'm like, oh, God. And I instantly just felt like shit. I felt like shit. I felt terrible, man.
Not only did you shit, but you felt like
but
it
I
too.
felt it, too.
Oh, man.
Okay, but however, later in the day,
Aww.
I got a renewal.
What?
I got a renewal. Like I got renewed.
Oh,
in my confidence. So there was this dude in the store, and I'm putting shit away. And this dude comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, like, do you know where like this is at or whatever?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, it's over here." And then he comes back like a couple minutes later. Can I get a price check on this, whatever? I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then like I'm putting away like fucking pizzas or something, right? And he's like, "Oh my god, I love that pizza. Like it's so good, blah blah blah." And I'm just like, "Yeah, whatever." And he's just standing there like while I'm putting the fucking pizzas away.
Okay.
And I'm like, "Okay, cool, whatever, man." And so then I go away, go get some more shit to put away. I come back, and he's like kind of standing like in the same aisle as me again.
Okay.
And this girl who works in like the deli part, she's like, "Oh, do you have any questions or anything?" And I hear him respond. He's like, "No," but he like does it kind of like a no, he turns his head a little bit too, you know,
Okay.
kind of like Snotty.
Sure. Pointed her nose away.
And not even 30 seconds later, this dude comes up to me. And he's like, hey, do you know where this is at? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, she just asked you if you had a fucking question less than a
my
minute ago.
God.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
And so then I happen to look down, and on his leg, he's got a big old fucking rainbow tattoo.
Oh, jeez.
And I was like, oh, this guy's either fucking a fan of Lucky Charms or he's gay.
I'm gonna go with Lucky Charms.
Biggest fan of Lucky Charms ever, right? So anyway, this dude just like he asked me a random ass question too, and it was easily if he were to turn his head, he would have had the answer to his question.
Can you tell me where the glizzies are? The big gluckers.
I just need a gagger.
I just need a gagger.
So then, and I'll be honest, like this is here's the like self-confidence part.
He was gay.
I know I'm not like even like top 10, like top fucking percentile or whatever the fuck of good-looking dudes. Like I don't feel like I am.
Okay.
However, for some reason, this dude like was super into me.
Wow.
And I have no idea why.
Was he super in you?
Shit, he probably felt like it. With the amount of questions this dude was asking me, he probably felt like it. He was in my head, I'll tell you that.
Oh, God.
But yeah, dude, so like it's one of those things where, man, if you get hit on by a gay guy, that's a big confidence booster, dude.
Oh my gosh, man.
Because this is the way I think about it. So like gay dudes are very like neat, right? So like they're very like fit and all that stuff.
Tidy.
Yeah. And so like they have like a very what's it called? Like I don't know, like they hold themselves in high regard.
Oh, okay, a standard.
So like for me, just a regular fucking bum, you know?
I'm so glad I didn't drink my water in the middle of that.
So for me, just a regular fucking dude, like, you know, dudes are sloppy and whatever.
Sure.
So I don't know, like I feel like it was like a renewal for me. Like, man, to get hit on by a gay dude, like
maybe he likes it sloppy. I don't know.
Possibly.
There you go.
He likes a lot of spit and sweat, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of gaggers.
A lot of gaggers. Gaggers are one aisle over.
Yeah, you gotta get a gaggle. One eye or over.
But yeah, so like I don't know, like I just felt like it was kind of like the worst of times and then the best of times, all in the matter of like 4 hours.
Oh man, see, listen, going back to the shit in your pants part, like, I mean, it's happened to everybody.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying this is the first time or anything.
Absolutely not. So one of the things,
the other times is just because I couldn't hold that shit anymore. This one was like oh no, I shouldn't have done that.
So one of the things that when you said that was, so I have a bunch of liver problems now, and it's probably more so, I mean, because everybody has like a fatty liver from drinking and doing all this other shit. I probably have like something's going on. That's all I know. So I was going today to get an ultrasound and a CT scan, and one of the biggest things was like, okay, you have to, before the CT scan, I have to take this like big bottle. I had to drink this big bottle of like borium or something like that, some iodine bullshit.
Borium? What the fuck?
Yeah, and I have been fasting.
Chlorophyll. Sounds like borophyll.
So I had to have been fasting since like 4:30 this morning. So basically, I didn't get to eat from 4:30 in the morning, which is fine because I woke up around 10.
Yeah.
That's when my first appointment was. And then my second appointment was at 1. So I really didn't eat until 2 or 2:30. So, but here's the thing. I came home after drinking that borium stuff. Somebody get shot.
Sounded like it. Jesus.
Somebody got shot outside, so congratulations.
Find out on the next episode.
Yeah, somebody got done, died. And find out next week on Dragon Ball Z. But again, so I get home and I'm like, oh, I gotta drop a shit. I didn't get to drop a shit this morning.
Drop a shit?
I didn't get to drop a shit.
I've never heard drop a shit. I've heard take a shit. I gotta drop a deuce.
Well, you gotta drop a shit.
Take a dump.
You can't take a shit because where are you taking the shit from?
Well, you're taking yourself to the toilet. So technically you're taking the shit to the toilet too. So you're taking a shit.
But you're not like
the toilet's taking a shit.
You're not physically grabbing the shit yourself and taking it out and putting it in there.
Yeah, but the toilet's taking it from you. Take it away.
So I was dropping a shit.
Okay.
I was draking a shit. Okay, we'll do
You're draking a shit?
I was draking a shit.
Okay.
So I was draking a shit, right? So again, I didn't get to drop a shit that morning. I can't even say it now. It's too funny. I didn't get to take a shit that morning because I hadn't ate or drank anything because I'm fasting. You have a little bit of water, but that's it. So nothing got my shit going pretty much. So I'm drinking the shit, right? And I'm wiping. I'm about to get up, and as I get up, just like do a quick squeeze to get up, more comes out. Just like that. And I was like, okay, I'm glad I did not I wasn't all the way up. Everyone's probably like, what the fuck? They're talking about dropping the shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, welcome to 30, I guess.
I know.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Hey,
Jesus Christ.
You ever asked yourself how
Is
far
the
you
juice-
think you could pee?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like how far do you think? Like, because when you just let it go,
okay.
I mean, it goes pretty far.
It can go
right?
definitely pretty.
It goes a couple feet, but when you actually push,
Push.
it goes quite a while.
It can go far.
You ever thought about like, oh man, like I wonder if I can measure this or something? Like, what's my max distance?
I've never thought to actually measure it, but I can tell you instances where, like, okay, perfect example, Amazon.
Yep.
Okay, so when I was bigger, when you have more like fat around your stomach, it's pushing on your bladder more. So if you have to pee, like you can't really hold it as much. Like I used to not be able to hold it at all. And it's so funny now that I'm just having this epiphany right now, this revelation. I can hold it a lot longer than I used to.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I hated about Amazon was like you had to walk up these stairs, down the stairs, keep walking, get to the bathroom, and then take a piss.
Jeez.
Right?
Long ass journey just to
yes,
go pee.
just to piss. And it would happen more often than not. But there was one time where I was like, I really have to fucking go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like hurrying the fuck up. You can't run either. So you're just trying to walk really fast. So I shit you
He's
not.
just coming out and you're just slipping everywhere.
So nobody's in the bathroom. And the reason why I know this is because they just take off the sign that they just got done cleaning.
Okay.
As soon as I'm walking that way, they're moving out. So I'm like, perfect. Nobody's in there. So I literally turn the corner. And as I'm turning the corner, my dick's already out. Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
My dick is out.
Yeah.
And I'm like taking the shot, 3-point line, like into the fucking
At
urinal.
the buzzer.
And I'm pretty sure the pee, like at this point, like did a whole curve and everything around the fucking divider. And I made it. And I was in there and I walked up really slow and I was good.
And you're just all, oh.
The guy comes back. The guy comes back. I had to clean it again.
So when I was working at Rite Aid,
oh god,
I thought about this.
Oh no,
I thought about it.
Oh no.
And so I have video evidence of how far I could pee. And
no way.
Yeah, because there was
God.
a urinal in there. So I would start peeing and just take steps backwards. And I could only go to a certain point just because of the stall.
Sure.
The shit stall.
Yeah.
However, I think I could get farther. Like, especially if you like angle your dick upwards.
Yeah.
You know, because at a 45-degree angle, that's the highest like something will it's the highest something will go up but still travel far.
Okay.
So watch, I'll show you and like I'll kind of play the sound just so people can hear the fucking piss.
Going for Oh
Look
my
how far
god,
that is, dude!
like a damn hose out here,
Right?
You're still going. Oh,
dude. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think I could get pretty far because I've always been able to hold hella piss.
Okay.
Like back in the day when I used to just drink all the time.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I could hold that piss forever.
Damn.
Because I believed in that thing of breaking the seal.
Uh-huh.
You know, like, oh, if you break the seal, you're gonna have to keep going pee more.
Yeah.
Turns out that's fake. It's just because it's this. The last time you went pee before that, it feels longer. The time from when you break the seal, air quotes, break the seal, to the next time you go pee was shorter from the last time that you went pee before you broke the seal. That's why it feels
right.
Like, it feels longer.
And that makes sense. Logically speaking, that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
They just put a label on it and just
exactly.
break the seal.
Like that. Like that's the measuring mark right there.
Right.
You know?
Right.
However, back then, like I said, I could hold just a bunch of piss.
Yeah.
And I remember one time traveling to Mariposa, and I had that big old mega bottle, the Herbalife mega bottle, full of tea and water.
Okay.
Drank almost the whole thing there. And I was like, fuck, I gotta pee so bad. Like, it's one of those pees where, like, it fucking hurts. And then because you got a seatbelt on, it hurts more.
Okay.
And then because your pants and, you know, your fucking chonies and shit, like, if you just move just a little bit, it's like, ah!
Yeah.
And so it was one of those where, like, man, if I hold it any longer, I might fucking blow up.
Yeah.
And so I fucking went off the road and I pissed right in this bush, dude.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I swear to God,
Best bush ever.
it had to have been like a minute and a half piss.
Oh, damn.
Like almost 2 minutes, dude.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, damn. Part of me wanted to fucking pee in the mega bottle just to see how much I would fill up.
Oh, man.
But then I wouldn't have a bottle to drink home on the way home. So
Well, you could have drank it, but it wouldn't have tasted good.
yeah, wouldn't have been as vitamin-y either.
So I was gonna bring up something. So we've talked about before, like ghosts and stuff like that. I'm just gonna switch the whole topic here. This is the
only show where you can go from piss to ghosts.
Piss Ghosts. Welcome to Piss Ghosts.
Subscribe to the show now. You never know where we're gonna go.
So here's the thing. I've dealt with a lot of spiritual stuff in my life.
Sure.
Ghosts, demons, bullshit like that, right? And I know the house
Ghosts, demons, demon ghosts,
demon ghosts,
ghost demons.
ghost demon come.
Oh.
But
A lot of cum on this episode.
I don't know. A lot of
like
cum. It's
it.
everywhere. Come. One of the stickiest episodes you'll ever be a part of. Welcome to the very first episode. But again, here's the thing. I've been through a lot when it comes to that. And the house that I'm living in has had plenty of spiritual activity. And for those of you who don't know, it's been in our family for like literally since 1963. This house has been around since 1963. It's insane. And it's been through a lot. So within that whole time, you get all that stuff. But when I first moved in, one of the things that I was like really, really anxious about was, is there anything here?
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? Because it's like...
I thought about that too when I moved in, because my house was built in 1920, 21.
And didn't you say that there was something, or you felt like there was at first, or...
No,
No?
I never.
No.
I've never seen anything. I've never felt anything.
Okay.
Ever,
That's
anywhere.
good.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's good, because the first couple nights that I stayed here, it was the same thing. I didn't feel anything. And I still haven't felt anything to this point. So the thing that I was thinking about, though, was obviously there's times where we've seen like ghost adventures and stuff like that. Yeah. And there's like the did you hear that? Like, you know what I mean?
It sounded like a...
Yeah. But it's crazy because sometimes there's a thing called residual energy.
Yes.
So if like something traumatic happens, it's like the energy kind of stays there in that one spot and you're able to hear it again another time. So it kind of begs the question, though, because I've seen the show a million times. They have like different devices where you can hear those things on a different spectrum, on a different electromagnetic, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can hear those things. But from what I've heard so far, you can hear anything from like, it's like an old lady. She's like, like, you know what I mean? Whatever it is. Let me be honest. Whether it's real or not, we have to ask ourselves, why are they screaming? Why is it always a scream?
Yeah.
What if the residual energy is just somebody with a big fucking nut? Like, and you just have no idea.
Wow, I never thought about it that way.
I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, you're like listening, you just hear someone, ah! And they're like, did you hear that? Wow. You know, there's been so many killings here. You know, so many people have died. Somebody could have died at that very moment.
Yeah.
Or they could have just had the biggest nut of their life.
Well, you know what? I've heard on episodes of Ghost Adventures where they hear like cuss words.
Okay.
In their things.
Yeah.
So I mean, it
even
begs
better.
Yeah. So you know, like they said something, you know, like then there's fuck in there, you know, and they bleep it out, obviously.
Yeah, sure.
But I mean, that really adds credence to what if somebody died busting a nut?
Exactly.
Or because what is it? That autoerotic asphyxiation or whatever.
Right.
You know, you fucking strangle yourself while you're busting a nut.
Yeah.
A lot of people die from that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what if they are fucking like, but you know, and then they just fucking kick the bucket.
Right.
And then say somebody moves into that apartment, you know, a year down the way. And then, you know, I hear this ghost.
know.
What does it sound like? It sounds like. That's a great question, man.
But I mean, come on, like, because again, somebody dies, they're yelling, you're like,
yeah.
It's again, and then on top of that, if you're busting nut, like that's even more energy.
Yeah.
Like this is energy from like for the next 100 years.
Can you imagine if Lexington Steel
busted
a nut while he died, and that turned into residual energy?
Huge energy.
That would be like the loudest fucking
that would
EVP ever.
We've never heard an EVP like this. This EVP is absolutely amazing. This EVP is the clearest EVP we've ever heard, and it's the absolute loudest and longest, just like Lexington Steel, and it sounds like this.
Thing. It's crazy gonna like explode. This shit is for real.
And he keeps going.
But just imagine you heard that shit. You know, you're asleep at fucking 3:30 at night. You just hear fucking. I'd be scared as fuck.
I'd be scared as fuck. And that's the funniest part. You wake up because you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what the flying fuck is going on? Did somebody just die? Is there somebody here? No. It's Lexington Steel busting a nut 20 years ago, and you have no idea. You legitimately have no idea.
Dude, it's even weird to think that. Okay, say it's not from 20 years ago. Say it's from 1892.
Oh god,
it's hard to imagine dudes busting nuts back then.
Well, and it's funny because there was
imagine the friction, all the fucking pube hair, dude. Jesus,
creating a fire like.
Yeah, it's all rubbing together like steel wool. Just
that's how they created fire.
Yeah, that's how they were warm in the wintertime.
So then it kind of goes back to when I've heard some of these EVPs. It's like, oh, do you hear like the accent in their voice? Like, do you hear them say certain things that they would have said like back in the 60s, back in the 50s, whatever it is? These things would have been said because that's what it was like
at the time.
So which begs the question, 40, 50 years from now, when you hear these fucking kids that, I don't know, like, not kids, but anybody, like, people from now, they're going to sound fucking way different and be like, no, quemaca, like, turn around, what the fuck?
Can you imagine the EVP? Is anybody here right now? Can you say anything? It's lit. Fuck, dude.
Yo, that shit was fire. Oh my God. Did you hear that?
That shit be bussin'. It's gonna be the worst fucking Ghost Adventure season ever.
Exactly. Yo, that was off the hook. What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Like, did you hear it? Did you watch?
I know you're just gonna hear some fucking Ninja Turtle sounding dude, fucking radical.
Oh my gosh, dude. I mean, everything's gonna change.
Absolutely,
everything's gonna change.
Yeah, I mean, everything does, but I think this is gonna be one of the. If you think about it. Like ghost hunting, because it's still kind of relatively new.
Sure.
Especially with all the technology, whatever.
Yeah.
But talk about a real time capsule. Like ghost hunting and like collection of evidence and stuff like that. That's absolute gold time capsule wise.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, because then you ever see like the pictures where it looks like a person from, say like the 1700s, like with their suit and whatever walking down. Like, it doesn't get any more fucking, time capsule than that because that's a snapshot of that time in our time. It's crazy.
Exactly. So we literally have, like, again, there's just so much to think about when it comes to that. So the next time you hear something in your house, next time you hear a ghost scream, it's probably somebody coming from 40 years ago.
And the thing to do is come now. That way somebody can hear you 40 years later.
There's going to be a lot of residual energy, man. That's all I got to say, man.
A lot of sexual residual energy. All right, man. Well, I think we can wrap it up here.
Like a Willy.
So, Man, we haven't done this in a while.
I know.
Where can they find you on the social stuff?
Damn. Well, a lot of stuff hasn't changed. First and foremost, I want to thank the Most High for allowing me to do this. Second most, here's the thing. The Good Times Podcast is still alive. It's not up quite yet. However, you can go ahead and find me at _Herbolutioner on Instagram, or you can go to my Facebook, Chris Clips Hernandez. You can find me on there. I don't think I have anything else. I mean, I guess I have Twitter, but don't add me on there unless you want to get fucking really offended. And then you will get offended.
Yeah.
And at that point, yeah, go ahead and hit me up on that social stuff right there. That's all the good stuff. You can see me posting every single day about my health journey for the most part. You'll see what I'm up to, see all that good stuff. And if you ever want to go ahead and message me, shoot me a message. I'm not going to ignore you unless I really don't like you. And that's a very, very short list. How about you, Jack?
Well, you can find me either on Instagram or at Twitter at Bsal Sanchez, Bsal Sanchez. Also, don't forget to follow the show's Instagram, which has a new handle at It's Good Times It's the Good Times Podcast.
It's the Good Times
It's
Podcast.
the Good Times Podcast. Because, well, we didn't have a comm at the point, or at that time when we were making it, I guess. And, well, fuck it, we changed it, and I don't know. I think it's better.
Oh, absolutely. I love It's the Good Times Podcast. You gotta use
It's hard to say.
At It's the Good Times Podcast.
Yeah, it's hard to say. But yeah, follow that on Instagram. We'll throw up clips of the show, and I mean, if we ever decide to make stickers or something, then yeah, we'll throw it up on there, and maybe we'll do a giveaway or something.
Absolutely.
But absolutely tell all your friends about the show, too.
Tell a friend.
Tell a foe. Tell a pimp. Tell a hoe. That's right.
Tell
And, all right, well, he's the executioner. I'm Almanac Jack, but you can just call me Sal, I guess. And we are out of time. So tune in next time for another episode of Good Times.
Tonight.